Are you someone looking to learn Python, especially in 2026 when you have ChatGPT already? If yes, then there are many playlists around Python already available on YouTube. What why you should come here? Why you should go through my playlist? I think the important perspective that I'm trying to add here is I want to keep it simple, want to make it practical, give real illustrations of examples from the industries, and then also add the interview questions around that topic. So, with that, hello everyone, this is Akash. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Akash Thing. And today I am going to start this Python Mastery Roadmap, not just focusing around syntax or Python code, but will be thinking more broadly, like how a engineer thinks, how the Python concept can help you in an interview or can help you in debugging the code or can help you in creating a better product that can be more optimized, efficient. Why most of the learners just quit within the first 2 weeks of the learning? There are multiple problems. If you look at the other videos, I'm not sure about all of them, but yeah, most of them are like very much theoretical, which makes it really boring. And Python is not boring. It's not even that complex compared to other languages. I have learned it. I'm from a mechanical background and I really felt happy learning Python even more than R. And that's my personal opinion. So it can vary, but yeah. And then they don't give even the real world examples or like how it can be used in the industries and some examples from like how you can relate it to some uh, practical problems. Then also sometimes they try to put a lot of things in the same video and that makes a lot of information overload and you're not able to digest and you just quit the video and you stop learning. So it should go slowly and it should not sound like you're learning something, but it should sound like you're playing or you're just enjoying the thing and just watching is enough and you are learning every day. So it should be like that. And then it's not just code, but it should enhance your thinking, how you should build the things. So that's where our approach comes in picture. The approach I have decided to take, of course, like it may be good, it may not be good, but this is my personal approach. I thought, which is like first, I will take the problem statement, kind of problem that we try to solve in industry, or a very simple or a very bigger one that depends on the concept. And then for each concept, we can try to build a story around it. Story like, let's say, the for loop. So for loop can have a practical challenge, like in a Spotify for recommendation, they might be using for loop. So that's kind of problem. And then for story, it's like how you cut potato. So now you have to cut 10 potatoes. So you apply a for loop. So that's a real world analogy that will help you understand. Even any layman person can understand it, right? And then we can try to have some animation which can help you visualize like how the for loop is working, or if there is a list, how that is storing the data at the back end, how the data is getting updated. All those things you can visualize, which will further like help you in understanding and memorizing the concept. And then we will finally do the coding. It's not the first thing, but it's coming as part of our like sequence. And then in the end, we will also cover the industry insights and the complexity that can be involved and where all it can be used, or what kind of interview questions or manipulations can be done around it. So that will give you a wholesome perspective for each of the topic. And I have also mentioned that I will try to add AI related intuition around that, like how this is getting used for building an AI agent or agentic AI solutions. So I splitted the complete playlist into 5 phases. Phase one, very much beginner friendly, which is the foundation level. Second, a little beginner to intermediate level, which is data structure. Third, code organization, which is at the intermediate level. And then fourth, professional Python, where we will start building something. And then fifth, the real world Python, where we will implement some project as well. all the concepts that we have learned so far. So again, here we will have multiple videos inside all of these modules. It's not like one module will have just one video. There will be more than 10 videos for each modules, and we'll try to cover every concept in very detail, but we'll try to keep the videos in a very short, maybe 10 minutes or 12 minutes max. So that way I will try to explain all these concepts in the format that I defined earlier. Second, it's like you can understand all these in real world analogy. For example, if I have to open a restaurant, I won't go and directly open a restaurant, right? First, I need to build the foundation, which is like I will learn how to use knife or how to use gas stove, right? So this is where your foundation comes in picture. You will learn about installation, setup, interpreter, and variables. Then comes the next one, data structure. Or in terms of kitchen, you can say like you start setting up the things. You define the almirah and where to place which object so that it will be easier for you to find and access, right? Similarly, in Python, we have data types and different kind of data types that will optimize your code and help you write a efficient code. And there are other modules also. Then comes your third, which is code organization. In terms of kitchen, you can say it like you are you started writing your recipe books for the thing that you are going to make, right? So in Python, you have like a function where you define what that function will do. And you also have some existing modules which you can directly import and use. So those things. And then comes your fourth, which is your professional Python. So in terms of kitchen, you can say like, now I am ready to set up the complete kitchen system and I can start delivering the customers with this kitchen system. But still you are in learning phase and you are experimenting here. So in Python, you have again here, oops, generators, decorators, all these advanced techniques. And finally, you are ready to open your restaurant here, the last phase. So you open the restaurant and you see how it's working. So that's where we'll build some real world projects using database API and all these configurations. So that's the final stage which will be there. And if you are able to go through all of these, then this stage you will love it and you will enjoy it. And if someone who has already like good experience in Python, so they may not need to go through the foundation or data structure. They can directly come to a certain phase. Like if I just interested in building something, so I can directly come to real world Python phase 5 and I can go through the videos there, right? If someone is interested in learning about OOPS video, they can directly jump to module 4, page 4. So in this way, it can be done. And there is no limitation because everything will be open source. Now, if I talk about these things in detail, so here we will mainly cover these modules. So starting with Python setup, we will learn how or where we need to run the Python, right? That is very important. And then we'll learn about variables. So how you can declare a variable, how you can store the different names or numbers in a variable and how you can use that. And then you will also learn about operators. So all the like binary operations or the mathematical calculation like plus, minus, or etc. And then the string, so slicing of a string and everything around string, will try to go through that. And then the conditions like if else condition or just if condition or multiple if else conditions, so those topics we'll try to see. And then the loops, especially like for loop or while loop, which are very like can be used for automation. And then we'll of course build some of the small solution for these kind of programs, so which you will like and you will feel confident while implementing. Then coming to the next, phase 2, or data structures. Again, there are like 4 modules, but we'll have multiple videos under each one of these topics: list, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. Think of list like uh, orders in a plate, which you can arrange in any way. So it can be ordered, and it's mutable. It can be changed as well. While tuple, it's like calendar days in a week or in a year, which you can't change. It is fixed, but it's in a order, like one, two, three, like that. The days will come, right? Sets is something like not like unordered and unique. So think of it like a, masala box. All the masala are unique, right? And there is no order among them. Then we have dictionaries, which is like uh, a jar, and then you have a label on it. So it's like that. So you can use the label to get the content of the jar. Similarly, we have a key and value kind of thing in dictionary. And then we'll build a to-do list, contact book, and word frequency using these concepts that we will learn here. So this will solidify your learning further. Then comes the phase 3, data code or organization, where you will learn about functions, modules and packages, file handling. All of these are very important in terms of development or building a product. Especially, it helps in improving the reusability. So once you create this function, you can use it at n number of places. Keeps your clean small code small as well as clean. So that's the impact this function is there. And you can also like optimize the function to make your complete code faster, run faster. Then you have modules, which like in Python, I think there is more than 200 plus modules. So we'll learn about them, how they are written, and what's the standard way of write them. And so that our Python function, the function that we will define, those can also be optimized accordingly. And then comes your file handling, which is very important perspective, like how you will read the files, Excel files, CSV file, Parquet file, especially for from data frame perspective, you need to read those files, right? And then you also understand like the input and output, how you can generate. So all those things will be covered in this code organization thing. And that's where it's written that companies don't hire people who can write 500 lines of script, but they hire more those people who can write clean and reusable code, like which like let's say a person has made 10 functions, and anyone in the team who is working on like different project, P1 or P2, so they can use these functions directly instead of reinventing those functions from scratch. This is something that all the industries want. But what happens in real world is like this project one don't know what functions exist, and this project two person don't know what functions exist, and then they end up making the functions again and using it. So once we learn about all of these things are going to be very useful while you will be working as a data scientist or as a developer. Then comes your professional Python. So this is very interesting, and uh, it's like it will take you to learn. It will take you some time to learn these concepts, but these are very you can see like interesting topics like exceptional handling, which tells you like what you should do when something fails. Like if your API is failing, your browser will not display anything. So how you will deal with those situations? When your code is failing, how will you instead of failing everything, how you can bypass that and you can keep the entire system up without like fixing that bug. which you can do it later, of course. And then comes the logging. Logging is like in any product, like there are tens and hundreds of modules or script or functions, you can say. And if something breaks, if you don't have this logging, then you won't be able to figure out where that failure has happened. It will act like a black box for you. So that's where this logging things become very important. Think of it like a chef's notebook. So where he knows like what all things he has put in the recipes. Then comes your oops. Oops is nothing like chef wearing a coat to make it sounds more professional, more behavioral. So similarly, OOFs, which kind of package everything in terms of class, and then you can use that class, and you can try to follow the solid principles of like coding, especially here. And then comes your generators and decorators, which are like kind of wrapper around the function you can have instead of again like replicating the same thing again like if I want to print the start and end time of the function, then you can just wrap it inside the decorator. And then generator is like you can have it's kind of like loading or cooking 100 plates at a time, so better to go with one plate at a time. So this is what the generator tries to do, and we will see how it works in Python. And then we'll also learn the other advanced Python concepts, which are like more interesting, I would say, and you will be able to use it in practical scenarios as well a lot, and you will get a lot of interview questions around these as well. So after exploring all these topics, we'll go through the some problem solving as well to help you understand better and like get deeper dive into these concepts. Comes the fifth phase, which is real world Python, where we will learn about this databases. It's like maintaining a register, how much flour is left, how much oil is left, when should we order. So all those things, it's like database. You maintain register of everything. You store your data and you work around that. Then your API is like how someone reach you from the internet. So for that, we'll go through this as well. And there are different kinds of API, REST API, Flask API, Fast API. We'll try to explore all of them, and then we'll build 10 mini projects or more even. So based on time, we can try to explore all those things, and we'll also see the crude operations that are there in databases, which is very like relevant, especially when you are doing SQL queries. So this becomes very important. Apart from these phases, there will be, of course, like multiple interview questions we will try to go through while discussing all these topics in detail. And it can be like the interview question won't be just the easier one, but we'll go through the medium and hard level as well. Like you will learn about this LRU cache, async, await, decorators, all those things. And this Fibonacci series or palindrome, this is one of the like some of the famous interview questions that are getting asked. If I just want to highlight what the difference between my playlist, which is going to come, versus what's there existing in the market, it's like every module will have some insights from the industry as well. And then it will have at least couple of exposure around the interview challenges, problems, and that is going to be coming on that topic. And then every video I will try to give it a at least feeling like where this can be used in AI development. And then it's very beginner friendly, and we'll try to make mistake and we'll learn through it on the way only. And then we'll also see some pro tips if there is any, and then we'll also debug the code at that time only whenever we get any issue. And we'll see how we can leverage even Google or AI to resolve those issues so that you can learn how to work with code in real time in industry. Who is this for? So I think it is for any beginners because I will be starting from very scratch, and I will try to keep it as simple as possible. So since it is split into 5 modules, so the first module, if you spend enough time, then beginner will again be converted into intermediate, and they will feel like they have already worked in Python for at least 1 year. So around 1 year experience they will become, and then they can go to the other phases of the course. And then it's also for students, college students who want to build projects or who want to crack interviews, because all those questions we'll try to discuss. More than 200 questions, interview questions we'll try to discuss of different levels. And then we will have uh, the career switchers as well, who is looking for switching their careers, and also someone who is looking to revise the concept. It is going to be helpful for them. So with that, I think what all things we have covered here is the six pillars on which this particular playlist I am trying to make. And these are the six pillars you can see here. So first is NG beginner to advanced, which is of course there in almost all the playlist. And I will not be jumping directly from beginner to directly to advanced, but it will go in phases. And then the core concept we'll try to have, and we'll also see the practical aspect of everything and the real world analogy as well. And we'll think everything from engineering perspective and see how it works in industry. And then we'll also look at the interview questions and how like we can make a career growth or from the career perspective as well. So once you go through, I think, this complete playlist, I think you will be having very good confidence in Python, and anyone or everyone whoever is going to ask any question related to Python, I think you will be able to solve. And with that confidence, I think uh, I will welcome you to my first video, which I will be loading on YouTube sooner. And I believe you are going to like it. And in case if the video looks slow, or if you already know the concept, then you can, of course, play the video at 2x to just revise the concept and go through some of the technical challenges that are there around that concept, so that you will be able to grab everything. And maybe I will also try to have kind of summary shared for each video so that you can take a screenshot and just revise through that if you know everything. So we'll try to see like how I can add more and more value through the videos. So it's not just video, it's kind of I am also trying to make the video on YouTube for first time. So let's see how it goes. And if it's you're going to like it, please like, subscribe, and share the playlist or videos with your friends, colleagues, and everyone. With that, thank you, everyone.